I'm back.
Welcome back, bienvenue to Season 2. Ladies and gentlemen, hims, she's, theys, and thems.
And don't forget the it's.
We have so much to unpack in this episode. It's crazy.
It's like Monopoly crazy. Ha ha!
Or like Crazy Eddie.
That's even more relevant today than ever.
Wait, what did Crazy Eddie sell? Because there's Nobody Beats the Wiz. Nobody Beats the Wiz.
And nobody. I'll buy that for $1.
Was Crazy Eddie electronics also?
I thought it was car salesman.
Cars?
Now we have the Yahoo.
Oh boy.
Now we have.
Well,
here, let me Yahoo.
Anyone out there who was born in the 80s remembers Crazy Eddie, and it was a commercial on TV. Why don't you give us an email at gtvspodcast@gmail.com. Tell us what he sold, because we cannot remember.
I know Crazy Eddie. I know Fast Eddie was Pool.
That
was Paul Newman.
Okay.
But I don't know about Crazy Eddie.
But yeah, that's the first challenge of Season 2 of the Greatest TV Show podcast.
You are correct, sir. He was a consumer electronics chain.
Okay, and that contest is over. Thank you, Michael, for giving them the answer. Don't email us the answer, but definitely email us, please, and share your thoughts.
And
comments.
this is why 2 channels makes so much more sense, because I can just edit my stupidity out.
No, your stupidity is stupendous for the show. All right, well, let's get to it.
I'm the glue that holds whatever this is together.
Bring it in.
And so does that symbol over there. I
That's
felt a rain around my neck and tugging me.
Listen.
Like I was reining it in.
It's been a long time, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1.5 years, almost 2 years. Let's get down to it. Greatest TV Show podcast. Why were we out for so long? Could it be greedy studios taking us to court? Trying to shut down the Greatest TV Show podcast? I think that's what it was.
I think that's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
I think we got a ding-ding.
A ding-ding.
Do a ring-ding-ding.
What do we have for her, Johnny? Or they, or that?
Oh, well, let's see. He's on a great vacation to the wonderful courthouse of Virginia City.
All right, not first and foremost, because we've already discussed several things. Let me do the disclaimer real quick, please, and thank you. And I'm going to do it slowly this
now
time.
we have to debunk our episode 15 that was recorded over 1.5 years ago.
Yes.
So,
we're going to get to all of that.
We're going to get to all that, but what I'm getting at is, I don't remember.
Anyways, okay, the disclaimer.
The disclaimer. Because we did 7.5 seconds at episode 15, and my friend just cried out, I did it wrong.
All right, so the disclaimer, nice and slow, specifically for the studios who tried to come at us and couldn't get us. Any stories that are presented on the Greatest TV Show podcast, if they have any resemblance to any real-life stories, it is a coincidence. That is it. Thank you very much. And the reason I'm doing it slower, we will discuss later.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
We'll get to that, too.
Also, tell your friend, if they want to do a podcast with copyrighted material, all they have to do is a disclaimer, because that saves you from everything. I'm going to explain that later. We'll explain that later, right, Mike?
Yes.
Later, after we discuss the trial. Wow, Mike had a one-word answer to that question. That's pretty good. All right,
40 seconds.
40 seconds of what?
You're just rambling on about a disclaimer.
I have to be clear now.
I know, but you went off topic at the same time, and I just decided to keep the timer going. Rein it in to 41.22.
I reined it in on myself. Okay, how's that sound?
Sounds delightful.
All right, so we're going to talk about the trial, even though they told us not to discuss the trial. So this is a fake trial that may or may not have happened about a studio suing us. We won't mention the studio because really we don't want to go.
Yeah, but our lawyers gave us the okay, so we're good.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that.
They said there's no such thing as loopholes. There's just legal and not legal.
Right,
so
exactly.
What we were doing was legal.
Though they use loopholes all the time.
Correct.
Right. All right, so we're going to actually tell you the story about how they tried to...
Of a lovely lady.
Of a lovely lady. What's that?
Oh, she bringing up 3 very lovely girls.
We're going to take you on a 4-hour tour. A 4-hour tour.
It was a 3-hour.
Oh, was it a 3-hour? Whatever. Just sit right back, and you'll hear the 12. I got that right?
Yeah.
All right.
Perfection.
Here we go.
Oh.
The story of being served papers. If no one out there has ever been served papers, you must understand that the person serving you the papers must get you to admit you are the person that they are trying to serve. Or so we see in the movies. I don't even know if it's... I mean, now we know in real life they have to do that.
Yes.
So you want to set the stage for the first time they tried to serve us the papers, the studios?
So we went to the grocery store before we started recording episode 15, and we're coming out with our groceries in our hands because we forgot bags, because New Jersey, with its beautiful law of no plastic bags, but didn't give us a substitute.
Hey, listen, we get used to it. We put the recycled bags in our car and we carry it in once in a while. Yeah, it's a thing you gotta...
Yeah, but meanwhile, everything you're buying from the grocery store is made in plastic. Stored in plastic.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta take baby steps.
Baby steps, my ass. Anyway, it's always us that suffer.
Yes.
Never the fucking business. Can you imagine being the asshole store that just bought like 2 pallets of bags?
Yeah.
And then they pass the law, you're like, the fuck am I supposed to do with all this?
Coming up on future episodes, we're going to discuss that because, as we know, Vinny and Al worked in retail. Of course, way before the plastic bag... attack on the plastic bags, call it whatever you want. I was going to call it
Attack of the Clones
or something. Attack of the Clones. There you go. Al and Vinny worked in retail when they had plastic bags. Could you imagine if Al and Vinny were working in retail today, and they had to give up plastic bags, and they had to listen to customers
bitch about the same thing I just
bitch about the same thing that you just bitched about? You know,
you're dealing with me 24/7. Take it or leave it.
Yeah. Of course, you know. Well, we'll get into all stories.
Listen, Sonny, I'm not carrying all that stuff by myself. Where's the bellhop?
We'll get into that in other episodes. We'll tell you all about that.
So anyway,
yeah, go ahead.
So we're coming out. We're holding all of our things, chips
in our hands, because we forgot our bags.
And to my left, I see this guy. He's wearing like a trench coat that went down to his knees.
Right. Now, mind you, though, sorry to cut you off, but remember, we were walking around picking out our items, and we noticed this guy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you forgot.
Oh, I forgot about that. My fault. Yeah.
We went, at one point, I turned to Mike and I said, let's just keep walking around, because I have a funny feeling.
So I had a suspicion that he was, what's that position where they're the theft, where they're anti-theft and they're hired by the store.
Undercover security.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But there's an actual title for it. I forget what the hell it's
is
called.
there? I don't know.
Anyway, I'll remember it later. But anyway, that's what I thought it was.
Right.
Because I've had that happen to me. Like I was. Oh man.
They suspect you and they follow you around. So this is describe what the guy was wearing. Go ahead.
So he was wearing shorts with loafers, brown loafers, and a brown trench coat that went to his knees, and a fedora hat, a brown fedora hat, like Indiana Jones meets Dick Tracy.
Yeah. Perfect description. Yeah.
And
Did he have sunglasses
the lighter cream colored undershirt.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and sunglasses, right? And sunglasses inside the store. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's following us around. We went down every single aisle,
even the pet aisle,
and the women's feminine products aisle.
Oh yeah,
we stopped there too.
Just to see.
I'm not afraid to buy that stuff. If a woman asks me to go, pick her stuff up, I go get it.
Oh, I thought you meant for you.
No.
I'm not afraid to try this out. I'll stick this up my ass. Hey, I stopped shitting.
What a great plug. Maybe we'll have a commercial for that later.
Here, use this. It'll help stop your diarrhea. Anyway, we're bringing it. We're in the store.
Okay.
And this guy is stalking us.
Yeah. Stalker much?
So then we buy all our things.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't approach him. We just kind of let it happen. Like once we leave, he'll leave us alone because he probably works here. He's the whatever the hell that's.
Private eye. He was a private eye. Yeah.
Unbeknownst to us.
Unbeknownst to us.
So now we're out. So we paid for everything. We're carrying everything out with our hands. And
for some reason, you got ahead of me a few steps. Maybe I was looking at.
And
something.
we didn't bring our cart because we were arguing about that. Because I was like, "There's not enough items."
We're just gonna get a few things.
And I don't have to return the cart because there's no fucking cart return.
It's all the way down. They place them like 5 miles apart. It's insane.
So we're walking out, and then I hear to my left shoulder, "Hey, Mike!"
Yeah.
So I look to my left, and there's nothing there. Anthony's not there because Anthony got distracted.
I'm way back.
So he's way back. I'm like, what the fuck? I turn to my right, and then this fucking Drenchcoat Mafia is like right in my face.
Drenchcoat Mafia.
It's like,
that's hilarious.
And he's like, "You've been," and he went to hand me something, and I almost like a handshake. So as a natural human being, I was like, "Oh, I got to handshake this guy," and then he instead substituted his empty hand for paperwork, and he goes, "You've been." And then from me...
And when I heard him scream Mike, I looked up and I saw Drenchcoat Mafia standing right next to you, and I yell out, "Don't grab those papers!" And I jet towards you, and we jet for the car, and paper serving guy did not serve us. Thank you very much. Mike is much faster than I am, that's for sure. And we did both get to the car. Now... let's talk about the second time they tried to serve us, okay?
Well, no, remember when, maybe you already said this, I zoned out, but like when he handed you, I heard you go, you don't pick up those papers! I immediately, instinctively just let my hands go to the sides.
Oh, yes.
And the papers fell to the ground, and Drenchcoat Mafia sprinted away.
He thought the job was complete.
He was like, "You've been," and he just sprinted away before he handed it to me, expecting that, because my hands were out, that I had been served. And I hear a saving grace, a Lord saving siren from behind me. Don't pick up those papers. And I went, "Okay. No papers."
Good times.
Great oldies.
All right.
Cool.
So, what was it? About a month later, Mike and I, we sometimes go to the beach, have a little relaxing day in our very busy lives.
Oh, busy.
We haven't had many acting gigs, but court keeps you busy when you're fighting a studio.
It was a hot summer night.
It was a hot summer night. No, it was a day.
It was a hot summer day.
It
was a hot summer day, and we went to the beach.
So we're walking on the beach, enjoying the cool summer breeze of hot air.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the words.
No, I gotta check off
So we're walking along, and lo and behold,
you prancing along, you get thirsty, you spot a little brook.
Put your little lips to the cool, clear water, and bam! A fucking bullet rips off part of your brain.
Your brains are laying on the floor in little bloody pieces.
We quote the same movies. We gotta get more movies to quote, man. It's not even a contest, because they could just keep re-emailing us the same movie and winning the contest. But anyways, we see Drenchcoat Mafia again on the beach.
On the beach,
in sandals.
But the same outfit.
Same exact outfit. I don't know. For the PIs out there, you want to blend in with other people in the setting. You know, like...
he had a metal detector.
Yeah. He's trying to pretend. So, I spot him first. I yell out, "Run!" Mike, I don't know how he knew, turns around, 180, both of us, and we jetted out of there.
I'm telling you, Anthony's like my saving, I'm telling you, my saving grace siren. If whatever he says is happening in a live situation, just trust it.
We never went
Don't
back.
question it, just go.
We never went back for our beach attire, so whoever has my cooler, Mike's Bluetooth radio, and what else did you leave there?
Oh, our umbrella that I dug into the sand.
Yeah. Would you kindly return it to the Greatest TV Show podcast, please? Thank you. If you're a listener. I don't know.
For all you thousands out there.
Oh, boy. All right, so let's see. Let's see if we can go through some of the points that the studio tried to get us. The obvious copyright infringement. They wanted to sue us for that. The estimates that the studio came up with were, let's see, our salaries they estimated that would have been $5 million each for this podcast. They
Which is amazing. I'll take it. Where the fuck do I
seriously,
sign?
you could have offered me $1 million or $500,000. I would have did the podcast anyways. But they came up with this number. They estimated that the podcast would be worth that much. $1 million per episode. They estimated, to produce it and everything like that. And also, let's see, they wanted to sue us every time we said the email address. Even though we came up with the email address.
So go ahead and email us at
yes,
gtvspodcast@gmail.com.
Because you can't sue us for saying it. Freedom of speech. And, that was another thing, right? Episode...
I don't know, what was the other thing?
The other thing was episode 14. When we used the recordings that
yes.
we did on
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks a lot. They wanted to come after
because I misquoted the guy. So we episode 14, like Anthony was saying, we had recordings from our phones from previous experiences on the show, and we had signed an NDA, and they were like, well, that carries over to your personal life, and you can't use that. So what happened is the whole reason the whole lawsuit even happened is because I fucking misquoted the guy when the guy was on here. Anthony played him twice, and he said it was getting a job, and then it was getting kicked out of his house. But the first one, he was like, "And thanks a lot." Well, I said, "Thank you very much," and he heard it, and he took very, very strong offense to it, to the point where he went to the studio and made it and alerted them to the issue and alerted they had no idea we had the podcast going yet, and because we weren't really that popular yet. Now that they were alerted to what was happening, they're like, "Oh no, we need to cut the monies."
Right. So they very specifically said the NDAs carry over to our personal lives and last forever.
I'm gonna make you eat that contract, but I hope you leave enough room for my fist, because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and make a goddamn spine. Ah!
That was very good, and that is actually from a movie. Email us at gtvspodcast@gmail.com if you know that quote from the movie. He did the accent and everything. The Austrian actor was in a movie, and that was the quote.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. The NDA, right? What else? And let me check the notes here. Yeah.
These are high-tech sound effects.
Let's see. That's right. And then chronic fatigue syndrome. The studio said...
Do you have it?
Do you have it? You look like you have it. Our famous recording. The studio said they would back a class action lawsuit representing chronic fatigue syndrome community, and they would come after us.
It's like, send the whole senior citizen brigade after them.
This is like when you watch, I don't know, Law and Order or something, and they have the evidence in the world, right? All the evidence. They have the murder weapon, they have blood on the scene, but they still need that one little thing extra to throw in to make sure that they get the criminal.
Right.
And they thought we were criminals.
Right.
But we're not.
We're just average peapods living in the society.
We're giving the fans what they want, which is the greatest TV show podcast.
That's right.
All right. Also, the fans want to know how we won the trial, right?
That's a big question.
Yeah, and basically, if you remember when you watch every TV show... Yeah, Baywatch. Even on Baywatch, yes. Every movie you watch, and especially now because the Marvel movies have the extra scene at the end, you have to sit there for 5
And now
to 7
every
minutes.
fucking movie does it.
Now every movie does it. Except
Ricky Stenicki. Ricky Stenicki did it.
Yeah, Ricky Stenicki did it.
And that was hilarious. So if you've seen Ricky Stenicki and you don't know what I'm talking about, just go back to Prime, go to Ricky Stenicki, fast forward the whole movie, and then there is a wedding scene in the credits. That's not what I'm talking about. There's a song at the very end of the credits. It's awesome.
Free plug for Ricky Stenicki.
It's awesome.
But DC Comics, not all their movies do it. So I make it a habit of Googling it before I go into the movie so I know, because
You're welcome.
these credits are now lasting 7 to 8 minutes because of the thousands of people
It's crazy.
that are involved in making these movies. And shout out to all of them.
Right.
The little guys out there.
Key grip number 5.
Key grip number 5. Third and fourth producers, assistant producers, and all those people out there. It's amazing how many people work on these things, and they all have a little part. Anyways, the way we defeated the giant studio is that at the end of the credits, you always see that disclaimer. Any resemblance to real life events is a coincidence. No animals were harmed in the making of... Well, guess what? Our recordings that we played did not harm any humans either, okay?
So the thing that I always made fun of Anthony for saying on every single episode was the thing that saved our
It
podcast.
saved us.
Save Ferris! Save our podcast.
It saved us. Hallelujah. Praise Jesus.
Jesus!
And so, to end this episode, Season 2, Episode 1, we would like to share some...
A shout-out. We want to bring a shout-out to our first fan email.
Well, the milestones, I was going
the
to say.
milestones. It's happened!
Every podcast goes. First off, we got our first fan email. It was a positive one, and I was happy, and I almost cried about it. It was a positive email. I was expecting a negative one, or the first email to be the studio. And
Right.
oh shit, we forgot.
Oh, we never got to tell you.
The way the studio actually got us is they mailed it to us, certified mail, and we had to sign
And
for
the
it.
fucking mailman's on our porch, on my porch, and I think he got served at the same exact time where he lives.
My
And-
mailman's Johnny. I was like, "Hey, Johnny, what's up?"
It's Ryan, and I'm like, "Hey, Ryan, what's going on?" And he's like, "You got to sign for this." I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna not. I'm not a dick."
Yeah. Well, my guy Johnny's like, "I'm sorry, man. I gotta give this to you, and you gotta sign for it." I'm like, "All right. I was expecting this. No problem." So that's how they got us.
After all that,
All,
between the
after
fucking
all that nonsense.
Drenchcoat Mafia guy,
Beach chase down, supermarket stalking
supermarket street.
through the USPS, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so the milestones. 1,000 downloads we hit.
Aha!
And I think there was a hiatus on our part, and we probably could have got a few more downloads in there. But, and let's see. So we got the email. We will respond to you, fan. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry
We
about
will
it.
respond.
We're coming soon with that email response. And you're probably going to get that email response before you listen to this podcast.
Now, we're also on YouTube, Greatest TV Show
Ooh.
Podcast. The Greatest TV Show Podcast. We have our channel.
The Greatest TV Show Podcast!
Yes, on YouTube. We did not set that up before because we weren't sure if the studios were going to come after us. Lo and behold, they did. And we won, and we got our YouTube channel.
We are the champion, my friend.
Who needs sound effects, man?
You got me.
Got Mike here.
I'm the soundboard,
That's it.
motherfucker.
And
Come on, motherfucker!
we got. I think I just checked a few
What
minutes
do we hit
ago.
the J button?
We have 12 subscribers on YouTube,
Ooh.
and 10 are being reported on RSS. But we got a lot of listeners out there. We hit 1,000.
We've got you out
It's
there.
not
all
10.
over the world.
Yeah.
We are humbled all over the world.
Exactly.
Literally.
Exactly.
All over
And
the
we
world.
want to thank the fans.
Absolutely. This
One
is amazing.
huge thank you
I love
to
it.
all
I
of you.
love it.
And take care, guys.
I love that you guys.
Oh,
that
he's
there's more
going on.
crazyites that like our crazyites.
Oh, boy.
Boy, babe.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's episode of the Greatest TV Show Podcast was brought to you by the Greatest TV Show Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a new podcast about a show that we all love, starring those two great actors, Michael and Anthony, playing Al and Vinny, just tune in to the Greatest TV Show Podcast. You're going to laugh your ass off.